things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tap Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the move. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis. First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First, and my very first thing today and every day is giving thanks to God, giving praises and asking for blessings from the Most High, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Is this thing on? Mic check. 1, 2. So it's Monday. It is the 29th day of September. And this is how we do things on a Monday. I'm so glad to be back. I had a lovely, lovely vacation and refreshed and ready to do this. So on Mondays, we typically do hour one, we look local, left coast, what's going around on this side of town. Hour two, we go national, international, and beyond. We typically start with Mindful Monday in our second hour to reset ourselves for the week ahead. However, Miss Sahara Ali is on vacation this week, so perhaps we will pray together or something. We'll find something. Maybe James will lead us in an affirmation. It is Virgo season still, after all. Is it? No.
I mean, it's always Virgo season.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, we're always in season.
Yeah, of course you are.
Good morning, Dominic.
You run every season.
I'm sorry, you were going through.
Yeah, absolutely. Then the third hour, we do a deep dive on a topic of interest, importance, or a person of interest, importance, or both. Today, it's both. We'll be talking with James Early, who's an historian and an expert on Cuba, and we will focus on the legacy and the life of Assata Shakur, who made her transition. And on Friday, I believe it was.
I thought Saturday.
Saturday over the weekend, and certainly rest in peace, Assata Shakur. Rest in power, and we'll familiarize ourselves. We'll memorialize her and all of that. And of course, you're welcome to call in anytime. That's James you hear, James Farr. You probably know that because, he really does a good job in promoting the show when he's coming on. The last Monday of the month, is that what we do? I think so, because that would be today. Anyway, he has his own show now, so he just kind of pops in still. His show is on Saturdays at 10. It is the Conversation Live, Altadena Rising. James Farr is a writer for the LA Progressive, among other things, and a KBLA contributor. James Farr, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic. You are just like glowing. I had to look online at the YouTube feed real quick to make sure that they're seeing this sunshine that's just radiating off of you.
Thank you. Yeah, nothing like some sleep and some sunshine to get you.
Is it okay to say you look well rested? I mean, because some people will be like, "Hey, what you mean by that? What you saying?"
Some people, maybe me. I don't know. I don't care right now. But it's because when you tell people they look tired, that's kind of like saying you look ugly. But I get it. I am well rested, and it's much appreciated. And some shenanigans. I heard Tavis was on the mic on Friday, Miles. That was awesome. Thank you, Tavis. Thank you, Dr. Sunshine. And thank you, Dr. Melina Abdullah.
Shout out Tavis. But the people, they missed you, Dominique, but they were loving being able to hop on the mic with Tavis on Friday. That was fly.
Yeah, that was cool because, his show is usually so tightly booked that they don't always take calls. Very Virgo of him.
What, he has a tight show. You just said that.
Every minute is
why do
booked.
you
That's
pivot?
what I mean.
Why do you? Okay, all
Because
right.
you guys have everything planned. So that was dope that he jumped on spontaneously and talked to the people and everything. So thank you, Tavis. Anyway, yeah, so you've been part of the LA Progressive for some time,
Yeah,
and the LA Progressive is the force behind the Left Coast Forum, which is
yes.
coming up in a couple of 3 weeks, about 3
October
weeks.
25th.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it. It's something that used to happen every year, and then there was a hiatus for a time, right?
Right. The last year was 2018, 2019, 2018, and then pandemic hit. Right, we kind of transitioned into a new
Right.
thing. There were some other things going on, but Dick Price and Sharon Kyle are the publishers of the Left Coast Forum, and it's really, it's probably one of the best progressive experiences you can have, because it's deep. It's not pretentious. It's not a rally. It's not corny. It's intellectual, but it's also very approachable. And so it's a place where ideals are shared. In this upcoming year, I can't wait to hear what the full lineup is, with Dr. West keynote speaking.
I'll be on one of the panels, so I'm
I'll be on a
honored.
panel. I mean, so it's
Yeah.
just
It's going to be a great time, and I think it's so cool that it's coming back in conjunction with Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580, and that it's coming right now at a moment where those of us who are progressive, or even those of you who are liberals, or whatever you be, even those of you who are conservative, really welcome the space
mhm.
to talk, to have some fellowship, and to feel camaraderie.
Right. I mean, what a mighty collaboration. KBLA, LA Progressive.
Yeah, Sharon Kyle and Dick Price, who run the LA Progressive, are both forces to be reckoned with. I guess they're a progressive power couple. He's just a long time a publisher and activist, and she's an attorney and longtime publisher and activist. And they're just, both of them are brilliant.
And it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Yeah,
I'm
forgot
like,
about that.
it's so good. I wish I could bootleg tickets and sell them. Right, like that's how valuable and what great of an experience people can expect to have at LA Trade Tech College.
That's right, which is an excellent venue that I think is underutilized, and it's because it's downtown and we don't think about it or whatever. But it's a really nice spot to have an event like that.
Folks should consider taking Metro, the train.
Yeah.
It lets you off right at the college, so that way you don't have to worry about parking. So it's an accessible venue. I mean, it's the last time I was there in 2019 when we had the event. It's a nice facility.
They have a lot of different separate spaces. Obviously, it's a college, but then they have that big sort of town square area in the middle. It's welcoming, lots of places to sit, hang out, and it's really nice. It's it's clean, nicely kept up. Just a really nice spot. I think we should have more events there, but I'm glad this one is there. Left Coast Forum is perfect timing. There's so much to talk about and so much to plan.
You think? And then a band at the end. So how Tavis does it, how KBLA does it. So it's going to be a good time.
How we do it is we always have food and music and fun. That's which is one of the things that I'm in complete agreement with Tavis Smiley on. It's supposed to be fun. To convene, even if you're working, even if you're dealing with tough, thorny issues, you're supposed to have snacks. You're supposed to have music. You're supposed to have time to hang out and talk. And he's a big believer in that. So we converge in that point. I think that's the Italian Sicilian side of my upbringing. You're supposed to feed people.
Oh yeah.
You're supposed to, people come to your house. They're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to leave wanting to come back again. Not to say Black folks don't do that, but
I mean, we do.
My Italian grandma would.
No, if you're cooking, we coming through. So
right, and if you're coming through, we're cooking, or at least getting someone to cook for you. So I noticed, of course, you sent me a long list of articles about Altadena, Pasadena, which is great.
I sent you 2, 3,
Oh, okay.
7, whatever. Who's counting?
Well, yeah, but I noticed in the Times, in the LA Times, there was an article saying, in essence, that a lot of people are just giving up. Folks who had thought they might rebuild, or who, even people whose houses were not destroyed in the fires, but still you can't just move back in. There's smoke damage, the soil is jacked up and all that. That people are becoming discouraged and giving up. Is that your perception?
It's not. So I think a better way of framing what's really happening right now and where people are. First of all, you have to look at the scale of the destruction and the thousands, 20,000+ people, right? So if you hit any corner and talk to 100 people, you may hear one narrative that skews one way, right? So you'll hear, I'm giving up, I can't do it. You hit another corner, there's another 100 people who say we got building permits, right? You hit another block, there's more people.
Right, because we're talking about thousands
of people,
yeah,
right?
It was 9,000 homes, right?
9,000 structures,
Woo.
which includes homes, structure, could be garages, could be 80,
right.
A lot, right?
Right.
So if they were to build back 1,000 homes a year, we're realistically, Dominique, we're looking at still 5-7 years before you replace that amount of structure. So things are happening. People aren't giving up, but some are. I mean, that's just.
But you haven't found that to be the predominant.
No.
I mean, I say that partly because I read the LA Times article and then I heard the editorial, by your friend, our friend Martin, and it's just like he seemed very discouraged. So I think it was the 1-2 punch of the article and the editorial that made me think, well, maybe folks are just, they're at their wits' end.
Well, some really are, and a lot more are masking how they're dealing with. I saw a brother. I was at events all over the weekend, and the joy that I normally knew him to show up in community with he was a different person.
Yeah.
I mean, and he almost still has that 1,000-yard stare. I don't know if it's the introducing the trauma of what happened and what they're experiencing right on top of where he is in this current day and space. And none of that in the last 9 months looked like it did before January 7th. That's a lot, Dominique. It's some joy, though. It's a lot of joy.
I mean, for me, it is sort of the ultimate loss, because when fire comes, everything goes.
Yeah.
It's not like losing money or even an earthquake. For the most part, when fire burns up your house, there's nothing left. And that, to me, I mean, long before this crazy Eaton, Altadena, and the Palisades fires, which are so impactful for our area, I always kind of had a phobia about that because it just seems so harsh.
Well, 85 when Baldwin Hills had their fire, right? And
I think there was an article about that this weekend in the paper, which of course I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah, 85. So I read up on that. And that was actually one of the things I researched very early on in this process to kind of get an understanding in community how it would hit. The scale of what happened at Baldwin Hill, 3 people died. I think 53 homes damaged and something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a neighborhood. That's terrible. We're talking about 20-something thousand people, 19 deaths. They're attributing over 400 post-fire deaths and still counting.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's different.
Well, I mean, the Baldwin Hills, actually, I realized I didn't see it in the paper. I saw it in the Hood Historian had posted it on Instagram. We love the Hood Historian.
The Hood Historian. I love it.
The Hood Historian is dope on Instagram. You should follow him if you don't.
I do. He takes you back to the 90s and Compton and everything.
Yeah.
Shout out
a lot
to
of cool stuff. We had him on the show. Maybe we'll get him back. But it was a news report. And yeah, because it's one neighborhood. I mean, and it's all pretty much all black neighborhood.
Right.
But still, yeah, it kind of, and it obviously rebuilt, but 53 and 9,000 are really different numbers.
It's totally different.
You're invited in, 800-920-1580. Don't forget, we're streaming right now and every morning, all morning on YouTube at KBLA 1580. And you can call us, 800-920-1580. James Farr, Dominique DiPrima, Miles Lowe is here too. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte. Let's preserve Black land stories before they're lost forever. I want to personally invite you to be a part of something historic. As journalist in residence for the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, I've joined forces with powerhouse attorney and social justice champion George Fothery, the man who helped make history by delivering justice to the Bruce family in Manhattan Beach, securing the first known return of land unjustly taken from Black owners by a local government. That victory was monumental, but it was just the beginning. For generations, Black families have acquired land through grit, faith, and determination, only to lose it through violence, legal loopholes, forced sales, and systematic racism. What's been taken goes far beyond dirt and deeds. It's the erasure of wealth, identity, and legacy. That's why we've launched the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project, a national effort to collect, protect, and preserve the stories of Black land lost before they're buried, forgotten, or erased altogether. Because there's power in telling Black stories, there is resistance in remembering, and there's justice in being seen and heard. This is where you come in. We're inviting you to be a part of this historic Black narrative archive. If you or someone you know has experienced land loss, displacement, or forced property sales, your story deserves to be heard and remembered. Your story belongs in this archive. Your truth matters not just to your family, but to our collective future. Visit blacklandlost.org today. Fill out our simple intake form and add your voice to the National Archive of Remembrance, Resilience, and Reckoning. Let's make these stories live on, not in whispers, but on the record. With a KBLA Talk 1580 editorial, I'm Dr. Nicolai Corte, and as always, we welcome your feedback.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-550-9651. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-550-9651. That's 800-550-9651. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
We are back to me. We're also back to James Farr. And you, 800-920-1580 is the number if you got a thing to say about a thing or anything we're talking about or anything perhaps that we're not talking about. Is all welcome at this point. There's so much going on. I feel like I can't leave you guys alone for 1 second because just crazy stuff happens. And it's, we're a week away from a possible government shutdown. The FBI director was indicted. Like, what is happening? But I know this is supposed to be our local hour, but I just
Yeah. Well, more of the same or different as happen, right?
Yeah, more of the same or different. I know, and the thing to remember, what I told myself on vacation, what I tell you guys every day, is that we're taking a pledge of courage, a pledge to be courageous.
Mm-hmm. Well, when Comey got indicted, obviously there's no sympathy, right? For me anyway. But I'm like, this is wild. Like, it is just wild. And I don't think those people who sat silent, obviously those who voted for Trump are with it, right? But I also think about those other ones who have just kind of passively existed, and now they show up upset that he is doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Comey that was bizarre to me was the statement that he put out.
Mhm.
I mean, it was bizarre because it was like, all of a sudden he's the leader of the resistance. Dude, you're the former FBI director. Like, and you're the one that basically tanked Hillary Clinton's
Mhm.
bid for president
Mhm.
with that last minute announcement, which at the time I characterized as a coup.
Mhm.
But now, after seeing a real coup as attempted by Donald Trump, I don't know. But in any case, he put his thumb on the scale and helped get Donald Trump elected the first time.
Mhm.
So for Trump to be indicting him now, I mean, the Department of Justice, but they've now become, Trump's personal revenge machine.
It's his guard, right? And so, but to really, like I said, they are going after each other, right? I'm like, if you indict the former director of the FBI, no one is dare I say safe, right? Like, anyone
Right.
can get it at this point.
Yep.
Except for you, me, and Jimmy Kimmel, obviously.
Because this is protected by the red, the black, and the green.
That's right.
With the key. In any case, yeah, I'm not gonna live my life like that. Be a spirit, don't be no ghost, to quote my dad. But yeah, it's very bizarre. It's upside down world for sure. I am not afraid, and neither should you be, says former FBI Director James Comey. Okay, thank you, Yoda.
I mean, should we feel sorry for him?
I don't know if I feel sorry for him, but I mean, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. But I do feel like I'm not feeling sorry for him, but I do feel empathy. Because right now everything is upside down, and being indicted for doing your job, even if you're part of the machine, is problematic. It really is.
So last Friday, I realized I did something that made me feel like I was a good person, right? I won't get into it, but if now I give 0 about him being indicted, does that make me not a good person? Because
No.
You glowing right now, and I want some of that shared energy, right?
Well, no, I don't think you're a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, it's a tough time, because if we were in declared war,
it's a tough time.
It's a tough time because if we were in declared war,
okay,
we would have a different response to people that have been in opposition to our rights and progress being taken out, right? But we are not in declared war.
Who isn't in? It has been a war on blackness since the beginning of
America,
time, right? You know what I mean?
For sure, the beginning of
so
America.
I'm trying to figure out who's not at war.
Well,
right?
I feel like, I'm one that says we never finished the Civil War.
Okay.
I believe the Civil War, after the destruction of the Reconstruction, became simply a Cold War. And that's what we're still in. But as far as Congress declares a war, or we have a revolution that breaks out and there's actual battles going on, there are different rules.
You mean like people taking up arms and militias?
Yeah, those are different rules than you have when it's not war.
I don't know. I mean, I've never lived through that. I'm not looking forward
I
to
haven't either,
that.
and I hope I don't have to.
But to say that we are not at war, it is a cold war, right? But it's not even cold. It's been hot as hell as black men.
Yeah, well, people are getting shot by police, jailed for no reason. We do have political prisoners. And, the case of Assata Shakur, which we'll talk more about in the 8 o'clock hour, but you're welcome to weigh in anytime, reminds us of how dire it really is.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is that celebrating people's death and demise is problematic spiritually, right? But in a war, when you neutralize your enemy, you celebrate that as a victory.
I know it's hard up, but let me say this real quick. I have no problem in my 52 years coming to understand and agree that when God's will is done, that's what it is. It's not celebrating it. People are going to get what they have coming if they keep loving.
Well, karma is karma, but you don't have to dance on people's graves.
No, that's creepy. I'm not saying that, but I don't think it's celebrating a death. I'm just saying sometimes you just don't care.
Oh, well, what is it that I heard? Indifference is a greater insult than hate.
I understand that how someone receives my zero.
Yeah. Okay, we got news, traffic, and sports, then more. KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Chicago's Black Mayor Brandon Johnson slammed President Trump over the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey, calling it proof Trump is using government to target political enemies.
I really want to call him a name, but my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is asking me to just stay saved.
Comey faces charges of obstruction and lying to Congress about the 2016 election probe. The family of Takia Young is suing Glendon Township, Ohio, and its police chief claiming civil rights violations after Young was fatally shot by Officer Connor Grubb in 2023. Grubb, charged with murder, has pleaded not guilty. A separate wrongful death suit is also underway. And Sean Diddy Combs is asking a judge to toss out his convictions, arguing commercial voyeurism isn't prostitution. If that fails, his lawyers want a 14-month sentence, time already served. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Want to save a few bucks this season? Then head over to your local Big O Tires for their Save a Buck sales event. You'll save up to $250 on select sets of tires with paid installation through October 19th. The Save a Buck sales event, now at your local Big O Tires.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Rams are 3-1 after beating the Indianapolis Colts Sunday 27-20 at SoFi. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford connected with Tutu Atwell for an 88-yard touchdown pass with 1:33 left in the fourth quarter. The Chargers suffered their first defeat of the season, a 21-18 loss to the New York Giants. The Giants were 0-3. Rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, making his first NFL start, had a touchdown pass and ran for another TD. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert was intercepted twice. Sad news for USC women's basketball star Juju Watkins. The Compton native will miss the entire upcoming season to continue rehabbing a torn ACL in her right knee. Watkins was injured March 24th in a second-round NCAA tournament game against Mississippi State. The Dodgers will play Cincinnati in the first round of the National League playoffs. Game 1 in the best-of-5 is Tuesday night at 6 at Dodger Stadium. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Clinical research drives medical progress and gives patients access to potentially cutting-edge treatments like CAR T cell therapy, a breakthrough for certain blood cancers that is also being explored for other cancers. To ensure therapies like CAR T benefit everyone, research must include participants from all backgrounds. Historically, Black African Americans have been underrepresented in clinical trials. By participating, you help make treatments more inclusive, equitable, and effective for yourself and future generations. Talk to your doctor about CAR T cell therapy and how you can potentially get involved in clinical research. This message was brought to you by Kite, a Gilead company.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, KBLA 1580 delegation, your health matters to us. We know that information is power, especially when it comes to prevention and treatment. That's why we're proud to introduce the brand new KBLA Health and Wellness Hub. This online space is built just for you, connecting our community to trusted health resources, culturally relevant care, and even access to diverse clinical trials and emerging therapies. Whether you're looking for information on common conditions, mental health support, or just want to stay on top of your wellness journey, we got you. And the best part, it's all on our website at KBLA1580.com. Accessible, empowering, community focused. So just go to KBLA1580.com and click on the Health and Wellness Hub icon, because knowledge is power and your health is everything. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
James Farr is here. He writes for the LA Progressive. Got his own show Saturdays at 10 on where?
Right here, KBLA Talk 1580. And we are the show of record. Yep.
The show of record on the Pasadena.
Yeah,
Altadena.
Conversation Live,
yeah.
Altadena Rising. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I can do the whole promo if you want me to.
Okay.
I
got time today.
Yeah.
So, some of the stuff you wanted to focus on in just updating us on the progress in Altadena Eaton Canyon Fire recovery. Southern California Edison has this wildfire compensation program, and when I first saw it in the LA Times, I said I got to get James' take on this, because my immediate response was they're doing damage control. They're saying we will give you this much money and we'll give you this much more if you directly negotiate with us and don't sue us. And so they're kind of like offering people a guaranteed amount while not admitting to be at fault. And I just wonder what your thoughts are. Now they're having these workshops to help people, I guess, process their claims, and it's voluntary. Of course,
that's not what they're doing. They're hosting a series of workshops, tonight being the last one. 2 were online, 1 in person, and tonight at 6 or 7 p.m. it's in person. What these sessions are, I attended one. What these sessions are listening sessions. They're no dialogue.
Okay.
Right? So they are facilitating through prompted questions and listening to responses. They were not widely open, they were kind of capped at capacity. So it's not like everyone who wanted to attend
Right.
could attend.
Got it.
You had to RSVP.
It's not like a community town hall where you
No.
can just show up. You have to have an invitation.
Well, you have to have registered. But what RSVP for it? Essentially, what they're doing from a legal strategy is they're separating the plaintiff from their attorney. Although you can still have an attorney represent you in this process, but what they're doing is they want to put an offer in front of you.
Right.
To separate, so that's a different decision, going back to what you were referring to in an LA Times article. Perhaps some people are losing hope. It's a different conversation when you have perhaps a pathway to some sort of resolution, which could be as soon as 4 months once they roll out the program, or there's a different option people will have. They can have, and I'm not really clear what this means. They can have a more exhaustive look at their claim, and that would take 9 months. So it's providing a pathway for some. Others, it may be shorting what they feel they need. I just would tell people to measure twice.
Yeah.
Cut once.
Right. And to your point, the article says all those sessions are full.
Yes.
So then there's a waiting list.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not being really clear about whether they're going to do this again. But what I'm referring to is they're saying, okay, this is what we are going to pay. Mm-hmm. They are putting a number out there. I can't remember the exact number, but it was, whatever.
There's some people could expect well over $1 million, somewhere in there, which is not a lot of money. But here's the thing.
That's not what it looked like when I saw it, but okay.
Because you have to back out insurance.
Right.
So there's a lot of nuance, right? And right now, as they roll the program out, I don't think that they're giving the community enough information on what it actually means.
Okay. Well, the number that I saw that they had in the LA Times article was much lower than $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But there were different ways of putting together amounts
Correct.
of money. So I'm assuming what you're talking about is the payout if you took this pot and that pot and that
Correct.
pot and put them all together.
Correct.
And when you say back out insurance, what does that mean?
So if you, depending on the disclosures that they're asking people to make, right? Did you get GoFundMe money? Did you get FEMA money? Did you get SBA money? Did you get money from a nonprofit, right? How much money did you get from insurance? So in one respect, you may look at
and they're going to subtract.
They're going to subtract.
Got you. So it's not really that. Yeah. Okay. It says 900,000.
About $1 million.
Yeah, it's close to $1 million. Depending on your square footage, apparently.
Correct.
And then so the number that was in my head was the 200,000 that they say they throw in there for settling directly with the company rather than having
plus a 10% increase. I mean, it's
there's all fine print.
Yeah, they're trying to sweeten it, right? And again, it may be the best option for some people
because it's faster.
Yes, there's a faster pathway, right?
I don't know because I'm not an expert on this and I haven't read all the fine print, but I hear what you're saying. Measure twice. It's to me, I find it very sus. Well, because they're not accepting responsibility. They're separating you, as you say, from your attorney. Now you have no representation, and you're taking their word for it.
You can have representation. That's not what I'm saying.
But they're not negotiating directly with
It's full. What happens is any lawyer representing you, right, in any situation wants to separate you from dealing directly with the complainant.
That's their job. They're meant to negotiate. That's why you have a lawyer.
And so they're putting the offer in front of the client and the attorney at the same time. So the attorney isn't able to kind of mitigate or negotiate on your behalf. If your attorney thinks I offer you $1 million, right, and your attorney knows your case is worth $5 million, he's never going to show you the $1 million offer because you
might just say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this yet. Yeah, I find it, well, to me, my University of Common Sense master's degree tells me I smell a rat.
Well,
That's all I'm saying. Because it's like, oh, well, to me, if you are offering me 900,000 or $1 million or whatever it is, minus this, minus that, this and whatever other fine print is in there that we don't know. What are you giving up? Number one. Number two, that means to me that the utility knows they owe you a whole lot more.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not going to start at $1 million if they think they really only owe you 20 grand.
Absolutely. I mean, I've talked with several attorneys that have looked at valuations on what, models of compensation will be as they kind of build out these cases in the lawsuits. And you could easily look at a 5-7x per complaint.
Right.
That's
right.
Again,
so they might actually owe you $7 million, but you're going to get you won't get whatever's left of one minus insurance, this, that, tax, license.
All of those things are still mitigated into the lawsuit as well. But
of course,
I think,
but they're subtracted from 7 or 5 or 3 million rather than 1 million.
Correct.
1 million. I'm not scoffing at it. I'll take it. I'd be happy to have $1 million. But by the time you subtract all that stuff, to your point,
well, $1 million to you and I would be different because we already have our homes.
Right.
$1 million to start over tomorrow is not a lot of money.
Nope. Especially when it's not really $1 million after you subtract this, that, and the third.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they did. There was a misstep in how they are doing these sessions. They're inviting people to revisit their trauma, right? And it may have been a good idea.
What? Why? What's the reason?
Well,
for
because
that?
it's the listening session. They want to explain to you and let you ask questions, but they're not answering questions in these sessions. It's a one-way conversation, right? I think it would have been decent to have mental health professionals as a part of that mix, because again, you're reintroducing the trauma.
For what purpose is my question?
They want to explain what their intentions are. But yeah.
It says that participants can ask questions and comment.
That's it. You can ask me 100 questions right now, and I'm just going to say, okay, all right, thanks, Dominic.
So you'll ask the question, but no answer.
There's no answer. No.
It doesn't say that.
No, I attended. I'm telling you what it is. It's
wow.
Yeah, they're listening.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All righty. Well, I guess we can chalk it up to some movement. We got more to talk about, lots to cover in the Eaton Canyon updates, as well as just some Pasadena news. Another Pasadena Police Department story as well. We'll share that when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
When you turn to the Employment Development Department, we'll help you get there. Whether it's support for you and your family while you find a new job, or the resources to focus on your recovery after illness or injury, we can help you move forward. From support while you bond with your newborn, to helping serve your family while your partner serves our country. Your EDD. We'll help you get there. For more information, visit edd.ca.gov.
September is World Alzheimer's Month, a time to shine a light on a public health crisis that deeply impacts Black families. 1 in 5 Black adults ages 70 and older is living with Alzheimer's disease, or AD, and the risk is twice as high compared to white adults. But AD isn't just forgetting a name or losing track of time. Signs of early AD could be repeating questions, missing appointments, or struggling with bills and daily tasks. These things aren't a normal part of aging. Here's the good news. Treatments are available that may help if AD is diagnosed early. If you notice changes in memory or daily routines, whether in yourself or a loved one, don't wait. Early diagnosis and intervention are key to managing AD effectively. To learn more about AD and a potential treatment option, visit treatalsearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com to learn more about the signs and symptoms and a potential treatment option. This message is brought to you by AZI.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are living with Alzheimer's disease or AD. But did you know that Black adults aged 65 and older are twice as likely as white adults to develop AD? You may be able to reduce your risk by managing conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure, being physically active, eating healthy, and exercising your mind. To learn more about AD, the importance of early diagnosis and intervention, and a potential treatment option, visit treatalzearly.com. That's treatalzearly.com. This message is brought to you by AZI.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where everybody is somebody and nobody is a stranger. You belong here.
James Farr is with me. You can hear him every Saturday at 10 doing his thing, Conversation Live, Altadena Rising, keeping you up to date on the progress. And I'm really happy for you, James, and happy for us, because it's so important for us to stay on top of this and continue to report on it even after the recovery phase from the headlines. And the headlines are so brisk right now that it's hard to, cut through the noise.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a report that came out regarding why the parts of Altadena,
Mm-hmm.
where most of the Black folks live,
Right.
were last to be warned that they needed to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And some of it we could have predicted, some of it not so much. Sounds like, from what I'm reading, a perfect storm of pretty much everything that could go wrong, going wrong.
Yes and no. And the no is because there were things that were preventable. There were things that were also predictable. Right.
Right.
And so,
well, yeah, I mean, that's part of the everything going wrong. I mean, they say that some first responders acted heroically. We did see that. But from top to bottom, there's so many things wrong with the response.
what that report says, Dominique, and I've read the report
Okay.
front to back, right? It wasn't breaking news. It didn't inform us of anything that we didn't already know. It's what people lived, right? It's what we've been doing on my show, which is talking about what that experience was. When they talk about the system failures, right, they're talking about technology, right?
Yeah.
Technology, this doesn't do itself. It's human in the mix.
Right.
That's the error, right? And what that report basically says, and what I said last Saturday, is somebody or somebodies didn't do their damn job. That's it. Period. Most of this.
Well, they say they didn't have enough sheriff's vehicles. They say they got new software,
Dominique,
right?
they
That
had
only two people were trained
week.
on, or three people.
They had a week at minimum, right? So
Yeah.
let's say they didn't do their job.
Or
Edison.
let's say they didn't have the vehicles, or they didn't have the
let's
training.
Let's go back to the utility pole that was decommissioned 50 years ago and still upright. The one that they believe is the causation of the fire, the one that you see in the surveillance video from the gas station. That's 50 something years ago that it's still up. That's a human that made that decision. That poll didn't put itself there, right?
Right. So that poll should have been removed.
That poll
is what you're
shouldn't.
saying.
That's what
And to me, they talk about a senior experienced staffer was out of training, so inexperienced
redundancy.
people.
We saw the same thing with what happened with Katrina, and now we're 20 years later. We see that they trained a year in advance for the worst event, and we saw the result, and we're still talking about Katrina 20 years later. This is no different, minus perhaps the intentionality of a specific event, but those power lines should have been de-energized as the law called for.
Yeah.
That's period. It full stop. We couldn't
But
do
I
anything.
mean, but okay, so that's the cause of the fire. But I'm talking about the warning the people that they had to get out of their houses.
That's the human error. People sitting in these ivory towers and cushioned C-suites need to do their job to make sure the systems
why does
work.
the human error only affect the main part where Black people are? Like, why is the human error not creating problems on the other side?
What you're asking me to say something that I can't provide you receipts or evidence for, right? I don't. Why is there bias? Why is there not care with many other systems that we see as it affects certain areas? Why are the streets much narrower on the Black side of Altadena than they are on the white side?
I really don't. Yeah. I don't know. I can guess though. I can speculate. But what I'm saying, this whole report, it's going, oh, we got a new system in place and only 3 people were trained on it. Even though earlier in the report, it says they started working on this January 3rd, which means you should have said, well, why didn't you call the experienced person back from training if you knew that this massive danger was, coming down the pike? All that said, why are the outcomes different? If people didn't know what they were doing, how come they knew what they were doing for one neighborhood and not another neighborhood?
I don't know what they were thinking. Police love to tell you this, right? We can't get inside of a person's head, right? We can only look at what the evidence is or what the facts reveal or what what's in front of us. What's in front of us is, regardless to what happened yesterday, today you had to show up and do your job, right?
That's what I do.
That's what you do. So
that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for a long time.
Whether we prepared or read anything, you still had to show up and do your job, right?
Make it happen. Make it work.
That's it.
But also, well, I'm going to leave that one there because I'm trying to figure out why you sent me this article about the Pasadena police officer shooting another Pasadena police officer allegedly by accident.
Because I wanted to formally declare on your show that I am no longer writing about Pasadena police or holding them accountable, because if they're shooting themselves, I'm good.
I don't get it. Like, you're resigning from covering
I'm done.
Pasadena Police Department because of friendly fire?
How do we know it's friendly, Dominique?
Oh, we really don't.
What we don't know. I've been in that garage. I know what that process is. I've done ride-alongs. I've done all of that stuff, right? It is extremely difficult if you are following your training, and I'm talking police training and gun safety training. They train on this at the range. Everyone who goes through some sort of firearms training says you do not put your finger on the trigger until you have decided to shoot.
Right.
Period. Full
Right.
stop.
Yeah.
So the accidental part, right? Although they haven't confirmed the condition of the officer or where the officer was shot.
They are saying he will recover.
Yeah. My understanding is through my sources that the officer was shot in the shoulder. He has been released from the hospital. So when you think about being shot in the shoulder, that means the trajectory of the muzzle had to be pointed up. This isn't like the gun came out.
He shot him in the foot.
And ricochet and things like that. So the community is concerned because if they're loose with the trigger with each other, they may be loose with it, and you can fill in the rhyming
right.
on that part.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Were we rhyming with trigger or other?
Trigger.
Oh, got
Trigger.
it. Just checking.
Yeah, I mean, you can we can bar it up with Miles. Combinate that with the other is the brother.
Is this a crossword puzzle? What is happening right now?
I talk in cursive sometimes.
I got you, but no. Well, but of course, according to the Pasadena Now article, a preliminary assessment indicated the firearm discharge was accidental.
The bigger issue, Dominique, is that we expect officers to be professional at all times. We expect them not to incur liability. Taxpayers have to pay for this, right?
Of course.
So that's the bigger issue.
Yeah. I was just thinking that about ICE because I saw somebody, a car wash owner with a huge lawsuit against them. And it's like, oh, here we go. And more things we have to pay for no benefit.
It's important to point out real quickly that it's such a small department. I'm willing to bet you this cup of water that the actors involved have been involved in other shenanigans in the department.
Like they're dating. You can't say that.
I don't know anything.
You know nothing.
Nothing. I'm done. They're shooting each other.
Okay.
I'm good.
And you know what? I'm not going there. I see you trying to get me back in hot water in my first day back on the mic. I see what you did there, James.
I'm just saying.
At James Farr Live is where you can find him on socials. Yeah, or around here on somebody's show.
Somebody's. I'm outside.
For sure on Saturday mornings at 10. All right, well, it's a perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. We got news, traffic, sports, then more, only right here.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Chicago's Black Mayor Brandon Johnson slammed President Trump over the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey, calling it proof Trump is using government to target political enemies.
I really want to call him a name, but my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is asking me to just